Welcome back to It's Life Loudly.
Where life is messy, imperfect, and worth sharing.
We're Dalton and Kristen Steichen, and we are excited to share stories and our experiences.
Ones that might inspire, motivate, and hopefully make you laugh.
We are not experts on this thing called life.
We're just here chatting about it.
It's life loudly.
Greetings. Welcome.
Salutations.
What?
Salutations. Or is that goodbye? Greetings, salutations.
What's salutations?
I don't know. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I feel like we need like multiple takes for a greeting. Welcome. Hi. How are you?
What's up?
Hey, lad.
Hi.
I know what your high is this week. Or your joy.
What?
Your lad came.
I got to fish with my lad.
Yeah.
Aye.
I don't know if you remember, our very first podcast guest was Mr. Nate. And on that podcast, Dalton and Nate started talking in their accent that they do when they're together.
Hi, lassie. I think we talked like this all weekend.
Yes. So when they're together, they talk like that the entire time.
Aye.
I didn't mean to steal your joy. Was that really your joy? Tell us about it.
It was fun. We camped on the ice for 2 nights. And
On the coldest weekend of the year.
yeah, he brought his permanent though, so we were nice and toasty. You were in there. It was warm.
Yeah, it was warm. The four-wheeler ride. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning.
It was
The
not that bad.
four-wheeler ride was not warm.
It was not that bad.
I thought it was very cold. The four-wheeler ride was very cold. That's just me.
And it's even got cabin heat, and she was still cold.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that really your joy?
I think so.
Do you have a hard?
We caught a cup of 2 tree fish.
Couple fish?
Cup of 2 tree.
A couple. Whatever that means. We apologize for not podcasting this last week. I appreciate everybody that reaches out and is like, hey, are you alive? We didn't get a podcast, but that's sometimes just the way the cookie crumbles.
Why does the cookie have to crumble?
I don't know, because it just does.
You asked what my heart is?
Yeah, or other highs that I didn't
The
choose
cold
for
temperature for that long got old.
I'm surprised.
Water fountains freezing up, like that.
I'm surprised my skin's not more dry. Usually this time, like, my thumbs are cracking, my knuckles are icky. I don't know. Maybe I fixed
Maybe you're
it.
getting used to the cold.
Never.
What's your joys?
I don't know. I was just looking at the back of my calendar here, trying to figure it out what it was. I always enjoy life group. We had life group last week. That always makes me happy having a bunch of people in the house. The last basketball game for our kid was this week.
That's a joy?
Well, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's just the turning of the seasons. You know, now it's time to do something else. We get a little break. We got to come home a couple more nights than normal. So that we had morning basketball. That to me is always a joy because that's fun.
Tiring. I know. I got one.
What?
Our daughter passed her permit.
Oh, yes. We now have a licensed, permitted driver. Did we talk about my Kindle?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Kindle's back. That I think we already talked about. And got to go to all-day basketball, which I like to do. So
That was today.
it's pretty chill, pretty good. So if I'm trying to think of a hard, my hard was just I don't know why I don't learn, but every once in a while it doesn't happen very often, but this week I skipped a workout on Wednesday and the entire day it happens every time. The entire day just doesn't go as planned. Things get messed up. You feel behind all day long. You feel groggy. I always get a headache every single time. And I just don't know why I don't learn, that it's miserable. And I always think that I'm going to make it up later and then it doesn't happen and then whatever. It doesn't happen very often. And then I usually do make it up in the week and I end up getting my 6 workouts in anyway. But on a work day, I need to start my day in a gym. I just have to.
I don't.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how you guys can do it by the afternoon of Wednesday. I just wanted to put my head on my desk and just be like, okay, peaced out, done. It felt like I had been staring at a screen for hours upon hours and I hadn't. And it even wasn't even really that stressful of a day.
Struggling.
And then I had to have some other duties that evening too that I had to do, and I don't know. It was just like I'm ready for this day to be over and I'm ready to start over in the gym, which I did start over in the gym. Yeah, I am struggling.
See that?
I can't get comfortable here. Okay, I started the next day in the gym, and there were 7 other people in there, and I just love a busy, loud gym in the morning.
Oh, Odie
High
is
school.
going after my mic. Hey,
he,
stop it.
he just totally ate Dalton's microphone, and the whole foam piece went away and into his mouth.
Stop it.
Quit. You said your hard was the cold temperatures?
Yeah, they get annoying. Dealing with cows every day in water.
We went fishing on a work day. That was kind of a joy. We had a good Tuesday. I liked our Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess.
Had some time to chat and do some things, and Dalton loves doing like tax prep paperwork
Oh my gosh, Kristen. Why'd you even bring it up?
because it's funny. Oh gosh. Anything else you want to add to that?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we're going to dive in today. We've been asked a question,
Oh boy.
and
By who?
I don't know. It's been on my list for a while, so it was a while ago. Anytime someone talks about like a podcast topic option for us, I just jot it down on a note on my phone. This one's been on there for a while. Someone had asked us about how and what and why and how we censor things for our kids.
That's all you.
So, like movies, books, TV, electronics, screen time, cell phones. Like, what's our
My temper and my mouth
What's
when I'm
our-
working cows or something.
yeah? What's our rules? What's our things? So, I thought we'd start about talking about kind of maybe how we grew up.
We?
Like, yeah, like in your house. Like, did you have any like how was technology, movie screens, books filtered in your house? Was
It
it? Was it
wasn't.
not?
It wasn't.
That kind of thing. Well, see, and
As long as we didn't watch SpongeBob or Harry Potter, we were good.
that was it. Those were the two.
That's the only really I can think of.
Did you ever want to watch those two things? Then you couldn't.
I watched SpongeBob in college.
Talk about the technology that you had.
Pokemon too. She would not let me be like have Pokemon cards.
Oh, Pokemon cards. Okay. Did you have any reasoning for that? Talk
She
about
thought
your.
it was all like I don't know where she got that thinking from. She thought.
So talk about your like technology screen time. So Doll and I grew up in the early 2000s, right? So when like we lived I feel like that's why we're called millennials, because we lived like some of the biggest transitions maybe. Like we lived with dial up and then we lived with Wi-Fi. We lived with bag phones, we lived with cell phones. We lived with no cell phones. At least I did, you didn't. We lived with like the first social media platforms. I don't even know what the first one was, but MySpace had to be pretty early. Like we lived with MySpace, we lived with Facebook, and then instant messenger and
send.nodex.edu.
Emojis and like I don't know.
I remember when there weren't emojis and we would like make the dot. What's the dot? The colon sign?
Colon with a parenthesis
for a smiley face.
Yeah. Yep.
Boy.
I feel like we even grew up in like the boom of like video games.
Probably.
You know? I mean, like when I grew up like as a kid, like I had Tracy and I played on the original Nintendo in her basement.
Yep.
Like the one where you had to inside to get them to get the dust out of them. So talk a little bit about like what you had as a kid, like growing up. Like
Game Boys. Had lots of Game Boys, and then they made the Nintendo DS. We got a Wii. I always wanted. I had my own gaming computer also when we lived here growing up. Played a lot of.
Is that the same computer you had then when you moved into Harvey? Because didn't you have a computer and a TV in your room?
Probably.
Or am I wrong?
No, you're probably right.
Because were you allowed to have like your video games? Obviously, you said gaming computer, but were you allowed to have your Xbox and all that in your room?
I was never supposed to get an Xbox or a PlayStation or anything like that. And I was somewhere with, I can't remember which grandma it was.
No way.
Mm-hmm. And they bought me one. And I brought it home.
Just because?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I would be ticked.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they got it for my birthday or Christmas. I don't remember.
I was going to say, if
Nick Titus, fun fact, had an extra Xbox 360 that he let me borrow for a while. And then that kind of spiked me getting my own.
Because then you like actually got into video games.
Yes.
Was that the biggest
But
thing?
that's what I had on my computer. It was a gaming computer. I played NBA
So
on it
when you
all the
say it's a
time.
gaming computer, does that mean it doesn't have internet?
No, it connected to internet.
So then what makes it a gaming computer
The
versus
speed,
just
the way it processes.
so like you could still go on like social media or something if you wanted to on that computer.
I could have. It might not have had internet access, actually. My parents might not have let me have internet on it. I don't think they did. I remember doing like homework on it. I had it connected to a printer in my room.
You had a printer in your room?
Maybe that was not until Harvey, but I remember, yeah, having my like doing homework on it. Like if I had to type a paper or
Yeah.
something.
Wow. I feel like you and I lived in very different worlds, which is funny.
And I had got my first cell phone. I don't know when I got my driver's license. I
Oh
suppose.
yeah, let's talk about cell phones. What was the
My
cell
first one
phone
was an
policy
old
of a stipend?
hand-me-down flip phone that barely worked and had to be held just right to charge. Use that forever.
Or did you ever have like headphones where like you couldn't like move the cords a certain way? Corded headphones hooked into your like CD player,
That's
or
how my
iPod or
Xbox.
something.
That's how my PlayStation controller is right now. It's annoying. I need a new headset.
That's funny. But like, yeah, do you like? I remember buying my first iPod.
Oh yeah, I had
That
lots
was
of
a big
iPods too.
deal.
I
It was
forgot
the
about
small
those.
little square one, and I bought it when I was in junior high with my own money. And like you had to plug it in and download the iTunes and get the iTunes gift cards and buy all the music and all this kind of stuff. And what was the website that we would all LimeWire?
Oh yeah.
Was that what it was called?
Mm-hmm. For free,
For yeah, you get like free
and
music.
some of them had ads in them and stuff.
And I wonder if it's people like that who then later developed like the things like the Spotify or something, because they're like, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just let everybody have whatever music that they want, or TV streaming or movie or whatever, and then we'll just charge them to have whatever they want. It was
Yep.
really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever invented streaming services like that, very smart people, because I think that's wise. But you had a flip phone,
Yeah, then eventually that broke. And
photos,
no, this one didn't take. I mean, it probably did, but after that, I think my first phone was a BlackBerry.
a slide,
No, my Blackberries were just the normal.
and then just like the flat with the keys.
Mm-hmm. And a little button in
Did
the
you
middle.
have to was there a key for every single letter, or did you have to like
There
triple
was
click?
a key for every letter,
So like a
and
keyboard.
they were really small. But
Wow.
I think I had like 3 of those. They broke very easily. Like I crawled up a hopper bin once with it in my pocket. Don't know what I did, but when I came back down, my screen was completely shattered.
And that was the flat, smaller one.
Yeah.
I feel like, is it just me? Phones changed a lot more when we were growing up than they do now.
They
Like
changed constantly.
Like in like
The slides, the
like
flips,
the complete shape of them. It was like, okay, we have like fat large
the
phones, and
Blackberries.
then all of a sudden you'd have a chocolate. You remember with the chocolate? It looked like a skinny iPod that you slid up.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. And then you'd have like, oh nope, just kidding, we're going to.
It's because
Whereas
they
like
didn't really know. Now the phones don't change at all.
no, the phones
because
don't change at all.
they
Now they're
got it
just screens.
figured out.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
If there was a new phone,
moving parts are not good, and you can testify to that.
what do you mean?
Your flip phones the last 4 years were horrible.
What are you talking about?
They always broke.
Did not.
Yes.
Do you know why mine broke the last time? Who broke it?
Yeah, after you broke it first.
I did not have any problems with my last flip phone. I loved that thing.
Well,
I never had problems with the
You had to
screens.
get rid of them because of the fact that they flipped.
Not my last one, when we just got new phones right now, I don't think
Yes.
there was anything wrong with my flip
It
phone.
was on the verge.
Well, yeah, but it was how old?
I don't care.
It lasted way longer than any of your cell phones have lasted.
You cannot go that route. I have a job that is very hard on phones.
Let's talk. I would really love to count someday the amount of cell phones that Dalton has gone through. Just in our marriage. Not even counting.
More than dogs.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so. But a lot. One a year.
No,
maybe
not the
not.
last few years.
I feel like there was a 1 year where there was like 3. There was a cow kicking and like 2 ice hole incidents all at the same time. It felt like.
The cow kicking was a long time ago. I don't think we were married for that.
What?
I don't think so.
The cow kicked him and it hit him right in the phone case in his pocket.
I flew back and I'm like, that didn't even barely hurt. Yeah, my phone was bent in like the form of a C.
That's funny.
It's like, oh,
So at my house, I did not have a cell phone until I was a junior in high school.
makes dating real fun.
Dalton and I texted. I got to borrow my dad's cell phone. I don't even know if I was smart enough to like delete the messages when we were
That
done.
was frustrating.
Which I don't know. Kind of funny if you
We
think
never
about it.
talked about anything too suspicious, I don't think.
Well, why would we anyway on a cell phone? We always had a desktop computer that the family just shared like out in our office area where like but
Can we talk about the one night you got yelled at and grounded? Because what was that about?
I've never been grounded.
Yeah, huh?
I've never
You
been
got
grounded.
from that computer or your phone taken away for some reason.
Oh, I did get my phone taken away once
And I don't remember why.
because of basketball shoes.
Huh?
I've never been grounded or phone taken away for anything like that typical teenager thing. I got new basketball shoes. My dad, whatever, had these new basketball shoes and I was putting them on and I wanted to wear my ankle braces under these basketball shoes. And my dad was adamant that I was going to ruin those shoes because the shoes were already high tops and that was good enough. And I, for some reason, was like, no, I'm wearing my ankle braces with my shoes. And we fought about it and fought about it and fought about it and went back and forth. And he finally said, fine, give me your cell phone and go to bed. So I threw it at him and I went to bed and I was mad. That's what our fights were about. I never once was like grounded, like miss curfew, I didn't even have a curfew. That wasn't a thing. I was home before
Well,
the sun went
I
down.
always came to your house.
Well, that's not always.
95% of
Probably
the
a
time.
lot of the time, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that was the only time I ever remember getting my phone taken away from me.
So what was did you get to wear the braces with the shoes?
I don't think I wore the ankle braces.
Did you sprain your ankle?
No.
You should have made yourself, and then you could have said, I told you so.
He was like, you're not going to be able to move in that. Your feet are going to be so sore. Whatever it was. It was dumb. I remember for Christmas when my sister and I must have been pretty young because my sister was still around, but when we got the Nintendo 64, that was a big Christmas. And then later on, I got a PlayStation 2, and that was the newest technology I had ever gotten. Until I met you, and then you have every gaming technology system under the sun. So
yeah.
So I don't think that I really had any sort of censoring as a kid. And I don't think it's bad or good, whatever you want to call it. I don't even think that when we grew up being the first people really to be like, okay, everybody's getting a cell phone. Everybody's going online. I don't think any of the adults even knew at that time to be like, we should maybe look into this. Or we should limit this or look into it. Or I read the book. If you are into this topic on how technology and whatever affects kids, read the book Anxious Generation. It's fabulous. And it talks about how now it's 2026. I don't know if you want to call it the boom of technology, but when social media and being online actually became a prominent thing for kids was in 2010. That's the year that they go off of, 2010. So we would have been sophomores in high school. So we lived it. We were in it, and kids a couple years younger than us, they were in it. We're the ones that they have been tracking. Okay, you've used this now. If you were let's just say in junior high in 2010 had a cell phone, and now it's 2026. We're now all in our 30s. How did that affect us? And it took that long for them to really figure out from 2010 to 2020, and then seeing the whole thing with COVID and all the things that holy cow, this is actually pretty dangerous. This is pretty actually scary stuff. And so when we talk about what we do in our own family and our own kids, we think about things like that and just, doing somewhat of protecting childhood. I don't know, going back, if my if our parents would know what we know now, would they have done it differently? I absolutely think that they would have. But just nobody, you don't know what you don't know.
I don't think your parents know much about the Wi-Fi, the internet.
The internet.
I don't
I'm
think
just saying,
you would be any in different shoes because you wouldn't know either.
no. And so like there's like levels in severity on all of this stuff, right? So like you have the people, like I follow plenty of people that are complete no screen, no technology, no movies, no TV in their house. Like I follow a ton of people like that. I would love to do that. I think that whole idea is great. Here's where I bend a little bit. I think that environment works the best if you are also going to homeschool your kids, because then throughout the entire day, like you have access to like the knowledge of the things that like they're doing, right? I think it would be very, I don't want to say irresponsible, but like let's just say like we are a tech-free house. Our kids go to public school where every single kid has a Chromebook. If my kids who never get technology in my house, never have TV, never have access to any of that, what are they going to do when they get on a bus with a bunch of kids that have cell phones, or they get to a class with a bunch of kids who know all of these websites to look up in their Chromebooks, or who go after school, they're together with their friends, or they end up going to somebody's house, or like whatever. Like what would our kids do? Like I just feel like they would be so overwhelmed and so like addicted's not the word I'm thinking for. Like they would like velcro themselves to
Yeah,
that because they would
they'd be
never,
so
it would,
fascinated.
yeah, right, it would be so like, oh my gosh, this is new, whatever. So I guess my rules, or our rules, have come from like we're going to give as little as possible until we see like, okay, we need to start giving some more things because it's in the world around them. And like if there's inappropriate content out there, if there's, I mean, not if there's, we know that there is, like I want my kids to watch PG-13 movies in my home. I want them to have access to YouTube, or access to like certain websites, or access to certain things that might raise red flags. I want them to be doing that in my own home so that we can talk about it, and it can be a discussion, and it can be something that I don't want them to find those things completely on their own and then be totally clueless about what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like it starts, it started young with books and TV shows. Dalton has no experience in the whole book thing because Dalton doesn't read.
No thanks.
So for books, and it's kind of always a trial and error when you have multiple kids. Like it's not going to be the same for all three kids. Your very first kid, it's like it's complete trial and error. So we always had the problem of we had a very young daughter who had a very high reading level. So when that happens, you always get to a point where it's like they're ready to read junior high, high school material, but wait, she's a fourth grader, or wait, she's a third grader. And so like that's when it started. It started with that and be like, hey, like what are we wanting to give our kid access to be able to read? And so like I know you said like your family was very against Harry Potter, right?
I think so. Sounds about right.
I mean, you wouldn't know, you had no interest in reading anyway, so it didn't matter to you probably.
Correct.
But like I did have some people like question and they're like, oh my gosh, you're letting your daughter read Harry Potter? She seems so young, or she seems so whatever. A lot of those things, it's number one, I've read them. Number two, I struggle with the whole witchcraft Christian debates out there in the world. Like it's fake. Like I want my kids to know that it's fake. Like we are reading this book for entertainment. It's a book about just like my kids have read The Hunger Games. My kids have read Divergent. My kids have read like our second daughter, all she wants to read is things about dragons. Like it's all fake. It's all not real. Like so I would rather like them learn that and know that like, hey, we read this for like entertainment. Like now if
Reading is basically a TV in your head.
right. That's what it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like
Mhm.
your family would have never probably let you watch Harry Potter either.
Doubt it.
Read it or watch it. And which like I'm like, if you feel like convicted in that way, like great. But to me, it's all fake. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if we would have read that and then my kid would have went onto the roof with a broom and expected to jump off and fly on a broomstick like they do in Harry Potter, we maybe would have had to have more conversations. But like I want my kids to know like some of these things, TV shows, movies, books, whatever. Like
Our door.
I just want I want them to know like this is fake. This is not real. And so then we've come across some things that maybe do have like inappropriate parts or inappropriate or whatever. If you've never heard of the resource Common Sense Media, Google it. It's a website or it's an app. Common Sense Media. If I'm unsure if my kids should ever read or watch something, I always type it into there. And then what I really like is that it gives you ratings from parents and from kids on like what age level appropriate do we actually think that this is. I don't like when this thing stops. It'll give like the age level and appropriateness of the book or the movie.
It's recording?
The numbers are still moving.
Okay.
Let's just pause and wait till it comes back. Is your mic on?
Yeah.
I can't let it go black.
Did it go black?
Yeah. Hello? There it is. Okay. I don't know if it left, but we're back.
I don't think it did.
So on Common Sense Media, it shows like an age range of the kids. Like, hey, actually, even though it's rated PG or PG-13 or whatever, this is actually the age level that most parents say that this is for. And then it ranks all of the books and movies based off of like 1 out of 5 stars, or not stars, of levels of like violence, drug use, sexual activity. And then it even talks about like, good things like leadership, morals, values, relationships. Like it like lists all of these different things, and then it'll give you a level and a description, like language. It'll tell you exactly which words are used. It'll tell you exactly which words are used exactly in the movie or whatever it is. So I remember I looked up, I don't know what new Disney movie came out that the kids were super excited to watch. I think it was Mulan. You know how like Disney's doing all of like the remakes?
I don't feel like it was Milan.
I think first maybe it was Cruella, but like the new live remake,
Yeah.
I think it was Mulan, and the kids were so excited. And then I read, and I hadn't watched it. So like, can we watch it? And I said, well, let me look at this first. And I went on and read it, and I was like,
What did it say?
Well, I don't even think I ever watched the whole thing, but I was like, oh, I better watch them this first. Like the real live action Mulan is like real like war.
Yeah.
Just like the real live action. Did you watch the Cruella with us when we watched it? We've watched it now since then, but when the kids were young and wanted to watch it, that was a no. But it's like it is dark. Dark, 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 dark. And so sometimes even you think like, oh, a Disney movie, yeah, it should be fine. No. Like some of the things even in Disney are meant for adults and not kids. So Common Sense Media has just been a good thing that I always use every time I'm unsure about something. And then we just always have open conversations about it. And then generally I usually read everything that my kids are reading. So like right now the teen thing is The Summer I Turned Pretty. Every teen person under the sun knows about that. So I read it and I was like, yeah. And then of course my daughter watched the TV show, so therefore like I looked it up, and we've watched things together before that like have inappropriate parts in it where like we'll skip over or we'll talk about, or it was so funny. This is not that this is funny, but there's a scene where basically she's like an older teenage girl or whatever and doesn't know what to do, and she ends up going to a party, drinking way too much, and then when the night's over and she's miserable and had all these relationship issues, she calls her mom and wants her mom to come get her in the middle of the night or something like that. And it was so funny. Our kid was like, see, she called her mom. I mean, she did it way too late, but she called her mom. Just like,
just may as well call her first.
Yeah, she's just like, I mean, she should have called her hours ago, but I mean, she called her mom. And so just, talking about those things, and I just would hate for my kid to have no access and no exposure to any of this. And then they are a 19-year-old going off to college,
finding out all of these things, and then they just
by themselves firsthand
hit the rail
where people are actually doing them.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's pretty much all still fake. Like I would say, like our kids have very little exposure to drugs, alcohol, vaping,
Yeah.
all these different things that probably that like that exposure. I mean, now that we have some high schoolers, probably like they hear about it and they know about it, but it's like I want to talk about it. Like when our kids get into older high school ages, and like pretty soon we're gonna have one that has a license. Like I want them to know to be like, hey, if there's ever crap going on where you're at a place and you're with people and like you need to use me as an excuse to like get out of there, like you can always use me an excuse and I will always come get you.
Or you can just leave if you have a car.
Right. But like I'm even saying, even if like you do something dumb,
What?
like I don't like if our kids are out
Oh, I
doing
thought you were
something
talking about
dumb and they're
me.
like, oh no,
I'm like, what?
no, if our kids are out like and do
Yeah.
like I want them to know like you call an adult before you do something that puts your life at risk.
Remember the one time we tried to go to a party?
Oh yeah, we tried to go to a party when we were 19 and what did we end up doing?
Locking my keys in the pickup and not going to the party.
And who did we call?
Fred.
My dad. Like that's what I want to make sure that my kids understand is
That was
like
so dumb.
is that you talk to your parents and call your parents about things that are going on. And I feel like we're hitting that age where certain conversations are happening between friends or friends are talking about things or watching video things. And as of right now, our kids tell us. And I want it to stay that way. And I feel like that's the best way is to let them have a little exposure to some of these things with a parent guardian present to be able to talk through it. So now as we talk about cell phones, now that I would change a little different. Like you said, with your first kid, you don't really know what you're doing. We've used
The watch.
yep, we have a Verizon watch, which was really nice.
Is that like called? Oh, sorry. The Gab watch or something like that. Gabby or Gab.
That's the phone. I don't think
that's the
Gizmo.
phone. Gizmo.
Gizmo. They have we have a Gizmo watch. And so it actually was and I would also like to point out things do not have to be equal or fair between kids. So, like, our oldest got the Gizmo watch, I think, when she was like fifth or sixth grade. It was something that, like, hey, like, you're going to be in town for a while. I just kind of want to get a hold of you. So, like, take this. It wasn't something that they had all the time. It was kind of just like, here, you can have this today or have it because I'm leaving the house. So, have it. That way we have it. Whereas, like, and that was when I wasn't working. Like I was at home. So like my kids left every single day and they were always in Harvey and I was here. And so like our oldest daughter did take that Gizmo watch to school and then had practice and had all of these things. Whereas like our younger daughter now has hardly had that watch. And because
She's really never needed it.
Well, yeah. Like I'm always with you. Like now that we're in the school system or whatever, you're always coming into my room after school. Like I always need to know where you're at anyway. So like, yeah, have hardly needed it. So like some people say, well, that's not fair. Your oldest daughter got to have it all the time, and now your youngest one. Like it's on a need basis.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it started. And then when we got into seventh grade, just so everyone's aware, every single seventh grader, as I'm fairly certain, every single one has a cell phone. So if you're gonna not, that's totally okay. Like I know people are like, oh no, I'm never giving my kids a cell phone. Never. Like if you're gonna not, that's great. But just know, like there's got to be a way where you can teach exposure. I just feel like they're gonna just be so consumed by all of the other cell phones and things around them. Like I just feel like certain amounts of exposure are good for our kids because it's the world that they're going to grow up in, whether we like it or not. Like we might not like all of this technology and all of this stuff and all of this stuff being thrown out of them, but that's the reality that they live in. So I would rather them learn a little bit how to deal with it and control it and whatever. So yeah, I like the Gab phone because the Gab phone is a protected Android device. It's a special provider.
Very safe.
So we know so far from what we know.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by safe? I'd say it's very
limits everything.
Limited. I would say it's limited.
It limits everything.
So there's 3 different like levels right now.
She can't even send or receive photos.
No. And so then every time there's like 3, like I said, there's 3 different levels. So like you can say whether or not you want photo sharing or not, and you can say whether you want like music or not.
And can't you go on the app and look at every call she's made and text
Yep.
she's done?
I can't see every single text message from my phone, but I do get every flagged message. So anytime that there is ever like
And you can create,
an inappropriate word, even
yeah.
if one of her friends says the word stupid gets flagged and gets sent to my phone. So the only thing I don't like is she gets a ton of scam calls and messages, like
I
political
mean,
stuff.
everybody does.
I don't.
I do.
I don't ever.
I do.
Like, oh, the president, blah, 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 campaign, whatever. Like, she just gets tons of stuff. Like, the amount of numbers that she has to block is a lot. And I think it's because her phone number is not like a North
It's not
Dakota.
a
It's not like a
701.
341 number. It's like a weird,
But
So
it's
I think that that's
701.
why. Is it?
I think so.
I don't think it is. But there's no internet access. And so then we get to choose what apps that we want her to have. And right now it's just the basic package. Oh, it is 701. So yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me why so much of that. But it's got like location, and she basically can text call, and then she can play. There's a couple games, couple apps, things like that. We're working now on getting to the next level. That's like a progress thing we have, a responsibility thing. If you want to get to the next level, there's certain things that you have to be able to do. And so
Well, I
that's
feel
where we're
like as
at.
far as this year, like we used to take away her phone for attitude or bad grades or whatever. I feel like this year we haven't had to.
No. And that's what I would have changed. And people are going to say that, oh, this is not equal. This is not unfair. Our second child will not be getting a cell phone
And she will not be able to handle it.
when she starts
No.
seventh grade for a lot of reasons. For number one, she is an entire like over a year younger.
You could just tell she's not as
Like
she's
she's 11.
she's not as mature.
Well, yeah, 'cause she's so young.
Yeah. She is not ready.
Yeah, and so like I'm
It
just
would
like,
rot her brain completely gone.
no, I wouldn't say that.
I think so.
Like I think she's really responsible and stuff, but I just am like I don't and like responsible in the I think she'll
And she-
lose it.
Lose and break it. Yeah.
And just like I if I could go back and do it differently,
I can just hear it now. Jay, where's your phone? I don't know.
if I could do it differently, I would go back and I would be like I would first set up a K like, hey, we have this, but we're not giving it to you until we see X, Y, and Z. Whereas like we just gave it like, hey, beginning of junior high in your sports or in whatever, we just gave it. I would maybe do that a little bit differently to alleviate some pain points that we had to go through. But you don't know those things. You don't know those things till you do them. And so, yeah, I would suggest the Gab phone. I don't think it works as good for boys because boys are very gamey. Like they want their fantasy football and their different games and their different all of the things. Like girls just want to chat. Like girls want to be able to call their friends and text their friends, which is all this phone basically does right now. Eventually, like the next level, then you can get like Power School.
So can you completely unlock this phone to be a normal phone?
It won't ever have social media on it.
Okay.
They don't even allow that. Like any Google product, any like emailing even will not. It does not have any communication apps that are other than like the texting the actual numbers in your phone. So like it has like Libby. It has the one she's really looking forward to is the Adventures in Odyssey app. Like to be able to listen to that. Like there's certain like other things that you can do, but like there's not TikTok, there's not Facebook, there's not anything. And right now for that, I always say that like you can always lessen rules later. So like right now, we just tell our kids and people who ask, you will not have social media like that before you're 18. Like that's just the rule right now. Does that mean that that's going to stay the rule forever? I have no idea. Right now, I have a young teenager and kids that aren't even teenagers. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it. We're not even going there. We're not even close to even having a discussion about it. And that's just my rule. I have seen way too much in school as a teacher how kids who are on TikTok and Snapchat and whatever after school and they're screenshotting messages and sending stuff back and forth. I have seen how drastically awful that affects their education throughout the day. And like, this year is the first year of being like cell phone free in schools in North Dakota. And I've seen great things with it. I think it's fabulous. The amount of kids that just like everybody just goes to put their cell phone in the office. Nobody is looking at them. I never see them. I never hear them. It's not a problem. I think that was a great move for our kids in our schools to force them to have a break away from those things, or else they would be looking at them in between classes. And it's just like, I don't know. I think with years to come, we'll see academic
More
improvement.
limitations like that.
Yeah, well, we'll see more, and a lot of at the beginning of the year, the kids are like, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's like, no, the adults in the room are finally just learning. Like,
Yeah.
we're the adults. If we see problems and we see things happening and we're not limiting them or doing anything about them, that's our fault. That's not the kids' fault.
Yeah.
We're the adults in the room. And so that's what I often tell kids is like, the adults in the room are just doing
A better job.
a better job with the information we now have. Like, it's not like, well, like 5 years ago, nobody limited any. Yeah, because nobody knew better, maybe. And now we're learning. And now that we know how bad some of these things can be, it would be very terrible of us not to do something about it. And so that's kind of our take on where we're at in the parenting world.
Yeah.
I always just say limit 100% as much as you can and then slowly
We
let
don't
go.
limit. I mean, our kids don't watch a ton of TV. It's on enough, but I wouldn't say they're always just glued to it.
Yeah. And like
They
it's a
enjoy their Wii time down.
yeah, well, and our youngest now has just learned what video games are pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, and he actually can like control them, and like we have certain rules like in our house, so and they are non-negotiable. So like we have a kid right now that's on their school Chromebook in the living room. At 10 o'clock, that device comes to our bedroom with the cell phone.
Yep.
All devices are in our room at 10 o'clock at night. And devices always stay in the main living areas of our house. So in the living room, in the kitchen. Except now, like one of the extra privileges our oldest has now can have her cell phone everywhere that she goes. Whereas so it's like giving, you just give a little more every time. So like last year, the cell phone, as soon as got home from school, had to be up in the kitchen on the counter. If you wanted to use it, you had to be in the living room or the kitchen. And like, if we can see that you're doing well with that and you're remembering that and you're not whatever,
Fighting
like
it.
now, and you're not fighting it and you're like, now this year, you can, you can
Free
have your
roam.
cell phone and it's because I know like there's no internet on it. There's no websites on it. There's no whatever on it. She's calling her friends or listening to her music. It's, and I can, well, and we have the device at 10 o'clock. She knows that our kids also know like we are allowed to go through technology devices at any point. Like it's not theirs. Like I can read every message if I want. I can look at every call log if I want. I can do whatever it is that I want.
We had a little compromise when you were in Ohio. Me and her.
Oh, did you break some rules?
She stepped up doing something, and I don't remember what it was. Like it surprised me. And she came to bring the phone to me that night. And I'm like, oh, you can keep it for the night to me. She's like, Mom doesn't let me do that. I'm like, Mom's not here. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Because if she would have been able to go on Wi-Fi too, I would have never let that happen.
no. Yeah. And it's just, letting go.
It's not like there was school the next day or anything. It's like if you want to stay up talking to your friend, I'm like, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of that stuff, is totally fine.
She's like, so then the next day she's like, Dad, can I have my phone again for the night? You're fine. I said, I had my phone at night when I was your age with Wi-Fi. You can have it.
And that's what the kids will say to them. Well, you got to. And I said, but nobody knew better. Like, and I did not. I did not have Wi-Fi on my phone.
Well, there's a lot worse things now than there was 10 years ago also.
Well, that's true. Like, there's just, nope.
Maybe not a lot worse, a lot more things.
There is no research that backs up that kids having social media is effective and good for them. There's not even research that shows that adults having it is good for them, other than, like, I mean, we know how people talk online. It's so But yeah, like I think setting very strong boundaries and limitations, and like cuz we never used to they never used to come into our room at night. We always just left them on the counter in the kitchen. But then I'm like I'm eventually and like even now this year now I now have two kids with devices that I'm trying to figure out, school devices and personal devices. Plus like one of our kids has
Well,
like an
not only that,
iPad.
if it's in the living room or kitchen area during the night, I think it just sparks temptation. Like they know, oh, it's up there. If I go and grab it for a little bit, they're never gonna know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I
It's like,
just like
why even create that
yeah,
temptation?
we just can avoid all that. Like we have places in our bedroom where they sit and they are charged, and it's like, and that's when we changed that. They're like, why can't I just put it in the kitchen? I said because it makes me feel better. And number two, I'm like, I now have multiple kids with multiple different devices. Like I'm not going to be the one that figures all that out. Like both of our kids now have a school device sitting in here, and then they one has a iPad which isn't used very often, and then it's just easier to have really strict rules and then just kind of like make them a little more lenient as your kids
Hmm.
get older, as your kids get more responsible, and like things always like have to change, because kids are going to get a job or they're going to get a car or they're going to get and all of that it always has to be an open conversation, I think, and it also has to be like parents, I feel, really need to be clued in to what are your kids doing, who are they talking to. There is no problem in being like, I have full access. If you're going to give your kids social media, well, parent, you have full access to it, and you should because they're kids. So that's why we just don't deal with that right now. But those are kind of the things that we've done. That have we done them all correctly? Maybe not. Um, are we going to change our mind and our rules as our kids grow and change and go through stages? And do I think that it's going to be the same when we have, in not that long, you and I are just going to have one kid in this house. Like there's a pretty big age gap between our girls and then between our son. So the rules for him might be completely different.
Oh, I'm sure, and they're gonna think that it's unfair.
Oh, I mean, like, number one, just I think boys and girls are just different. But then I'm like, what kind of, it's going to be a whole different time period then. Like, who knows what's going to be,
Yeah,
it might be totally different. So I feel support and encouragement for parents that are dealing with all of these things because it's a lot. But I encourage you to keep the conversations open about what your kids are having access to so that they're not afraid to come tell you about things.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we've basically covered it. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about.
Great.
Hopefully, we answered the questions that people were
You're the rule
wondering.
maker of the house. I just go with it. She's wanted to like put restrictions on the Wi-Fi, and I'm like, but the Wi-Fi affects me.
Yeah, and that is one reason why
Not really. Yeah. What did I
we
say? Like
we
a
have
time
not
restriction or
we have
something?
not gotten Wi-Fi at our apartment, and I don't want it.
Yeah, we talked about doing it, and now you're like,
No,
no.
I don't want it. I love that I use my hotspot from my phone,
And you can just boop,
and then I
turn
just
it
press
off.
it button. It's off. I don't have to worry about it because, and then there's times where it's like, so there was one night where she was very open to us and being like, I have a project due. I am not going to finish it before 10 p.m. Can I have my, like, can I get this, like things like that need to be an open conversation.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I'm glad you told me that. Like, I'll set it. So I was able to set my Wi-Fi to turn off when she turns her device off. And I just said, Jen, just set your device, outside I said, I am, you need to give me your phone, but you can have your computer. And like, I knew what project she was working on. And I said, the computer needs to be outside my room when you're done. I said, because I'm not waiting up that long because I'm going to bed. That's the thing too. And so, yeah. And I think that there's that, I don't know if you want to call it trust or whatever. Like our kids know what we say is what we mean, or
Yeah.
what we mean is what like if I say like that device needs to be outside this room or by this door in the morning, they know that if it's not in the morning, they're never going to get to use it ever again.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be a serious consequence for like they know how strict we are about those things,
Which is good.
which is good. And so yeah, but then it's like, yeah, just open conversation of like, hey, I need to use it longer. Is that okay tonight? And then I just was able to set the Wi-Fi to turn off when her device was off. And then I was told the next day by her teacher she had a fabulous project. So it's like clearly she was working on it. She didn't
Great.
just sit there on YouTube or whatever, So I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Chicken wrap.
Well, hopefully, I feel for you parents that are all navigating this, and hopefully we can all figure it out together. If anyone has any useful tips, or if you are those people that know all of the cool parenting like safeguard sites, like I don't know, like obviously I don't know if this Gab phone thing is gonna last like all of eternity for us. So like I love listening, like I found out like about Family Link, Google Family Link. You connect all the family devices. I learned that there's like different Wi-Fi things where you can control from your cell phone the Wi-Fi usage of every single device in your house. I learned all
Oh, I
those
knew
kinds of things.
that.
I didn't know that. Like that'd be great if I can just be like Wi-Fi off the TV. Like some of those things as my kids get older and I have older teenagers, I might need some of those things. So if you have helpful tools, tricks, all of there, put them in the comments, please. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.